What's up, Kipsters? I'm going to tell you about how to tell if an equation is proportional or not. It might be a little bit longer of a video, but just bear with it because it'll help you out a whole lot. Right? So by the end of this video, you should be able to tell me if an equation, so cross off that D, is proportional or non-proportional, and you should be able to identify slope and y-intercept in an equation. All right. So I want you to take 1 second and figure out what's the difference between column A and column B. I want you to notice that column B, they all have equations that just have a number multiplied by an x. But in column B, they have that same number, except there's an addition or a subtraction. In math, we call these proportional equations. Call them proportional equations, and these are non-proportional. Okay. And I know this because y and x have a direct variation of -5. Y and x have a variation of 7. Y and x have 200. Y and x have a variation of 2/3, and y and x have a variation of 125. But the problem is that when you get over here, y and x do not have a direct variation because of this plus 4. Y and x do not have a direct variation because of this plus 2. So it's almost like an additive that gets in the way. So I have two equations that we're going to pay attention to very closely. First of all, I want to identify one special number. The number that's being multiplied by x. That number is special in math. It's actually called the slope. And just like a hill on a mountain, when a skier is skiing, yay, look at this little man. And he has his little pole, and he's skiing down this mountain. We would say that the slope of this mountain is flat right here, but as you go down, it becomes even more steep. So the slope of the line depends on this number right here. Now let's identify the graph. So if you notice in the picture, we got 1x is the blue line, we got 2x is the red line, and 3x is the green line. I want you to notice as the slopes go up that the steeper a line gets. So these become steeper. That is the correct vocabulary. It becomes steeper. But as soon as you change it and ask them to go down, so instead of having 1 and it goes down, the line starts to become flatter. So it all depends on what is being multiplied by that x. Now let's take a look at another special number. The number that gets added or subtracted that's not multiplied by the x. That's a special number called the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where this line crosses the y-axis. Now if you look at the other one, I don't see a y-intercept, but secretly, if you don't tell anyone, you can say that this is plus 0 and the y-intercept is 0. So we can say for a proportional equation that the y-intercept will always be 0. But the y-intercept for a non-proportional will always be something that is not 0. Okay, so let's look at the graphs. If I take a look at this graph, I notice that the y and x axis, I want you to look at the orange line. Where does it cross the y-axis? Well, it crosses the y-axis at 0. Where does the blue line cross the y-axis? It crosses the y-axis at 5. Where does the red line cross? At 3. Right there. Okay. So we can say that we can identify where the line crosses the y-axis just by looking at this. And we know this is always going to cross at 0. It's going to go through the origin. Okay? This is origin, baby. All right, so I have two examples. I want to know if this first one is proportional or non-proportional. So it's A proportional, non-proportional. So it will be proportional. What is the y-intercept? Well, we have already said that the y-intercept is that thing right there. So it's going to be at 0. What is the slope? Well, the slope is a positive 8. All right? Over here, it says if it's proportional or non-proportional. Well, because it has something subtracted or added to it, this becomes non-proportional. What is the y-intercept? It's negative 7. What is the slope? It's a negative 2. All right, try these on your own. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. See you tomorrow night at the potluck. Enjoy.